Welcome back to Car AUG 765, the home for classic American cars that defined the golden era of muscle and power. If you love old-school engines, timeless designs, and pure American muscle, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing family of car lovers. Today, we're diving into one of the last true muscle cars of the 1970s, the 1974 Pontiac GTO. A car that tried to keep the spirit of power alive during the dark days of emissions and fuel restrictions. Let's turn the ignition key of nostalgia and explore what made the 1974 Pontiac GTO special, and why it still commands respect among collectors today. Exterior design. At first glance, the 1974 Pontiac GTO looks bold, compact, and ready to move. This was the year Pontiac shifted the GTO nameplate onto the Pontiac Ventura, a smaller A-body car, giving it a lighter and more youthful appearance. The exterior carried Pontiac's famous split grille with aggressive headlamp housings, and that unmistakable GTO badge proudly displayed on the hood and rear panel. The hood scoop, functional and fierce, was a reminder that even though the muscle car era was fading, GTO's heart was still racing. You'll notice the clean body lines, slightly flared fenders, and sporty stripes that made it look fast even when it was standing still. It wasn't as wide or intimidating as its 1969 or 1970 predecessors, but it had a sporty, road-ready attitude that appealed to a new generation of drivers. Available in classic colors like Buccaneer Red, Admiralty Blue, and Cameo White, each 1974 GTO looked like a true street performer. And with Rally 2 wheels and GTO emblems, it screamed confidence from every angle. Interior design. Step inside, and you'll find a cabin that balanced performance with comfort. The dashboard featured Pontiac's signature driver-oriented layout, simple yet sporty. The steering wheel, with its three-spoke design and GTO badge at the center, gave a firm grip and instant connection with the road. The seats came in vinyl or cloth, with available bucket options that hug you tight during sharp turns. The instrument cluster was clean and easy to read, with a large speedometer, tachometer, and optional gauges for oil pressure and temperature. Although it wasn't as luxurious as some competitors, it was pure Pontiac, functional, purposeful, and built to drive. The sound of the V8 outside reminded you that this was no ordinary Ventura, it was a GTO. Performance. Now let's talk about what truly made the 1974 GTO tick, its performance. Under the hood, Pontiac gave this GTO a 350 cubic inch 5.7-liter V8 engine, producing 200 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. While that might not sound like much by early 70s standards, remember, this was the mid-1970s, when emissions laws and gas prices were hitting muscle cars hard. Yet, the GTO still offered solid performance, with a 0 to 60 mph time of around 7.5 seconds, which was impressive for the time. You could choose between a 3-speed automatic or a 4-speed manual transmission, and true enthusiasts always picked the manual. The suspension was tuned for handling, with front and rear stabilizer bars and radial tires, making it one of the best handling GTOs ever produced. On the road, it felt responsive and eager, with that distinct V8 growl that Pontiac fans loved. The lighter Ventura platform actually made the 1974 GTO more agile in corners, giving drivers better control and a fun driving experience. Fuel economy wasn't its strongest suit, averaging about 13 miles per gallon, but if you bought a GTO, you weren't thinking about gas, you were thinking about style, speed, and status. Historical significance. The 1974 Pontiac GTO marked the end of an era. After this model year, the GTO name disappeared until the mid-2000s revival. It represented the last chapter of classic, old-school American muscle before the world shifted toward smaller, fuel-efficient cars. Although critics at the time argued that the 1974 version wasn't a true GTO because of its smaller size and reduced power, fans today see it differently. They recognize it as the last real muscle car of its time, one that refused to die quietly even as the automotive landscape changed. With only around 7,058 units produced, the 1974 GTO is now one of the rarest models in the GTO family. Collectors value it for its unique story, balanced design, and the spirit of rebellion it carried in a decade that tried to tame performance cars. Conclusion. So, what makes the 1974 Pontiac GTO unforgettable? It's not just about raw horsepower or high speed, it's about attitude. This car stood tall when others gave up. It was the last flame of the muscle car era, built for those who refused to compromise on style and strength. Today, whether you see one at a car show or hear that V8 rumble in the distance, you know you're witnessing a piece of American automotive history, one that reminds us what true performance feels like. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1974 Pontiac GTO, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to @CarOg765 for more legendary car stories every week. Until next time, keep your engines roaring and your passion for classics alive. Thanks for watching. This is CarOg765, signing off.